Hi, welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. I talk about books and sometimes other things, and this month it's about my April reading, as well as two books I sort of forgot in March. So those two books that I finished in the end of March was the duology of the Never Tilting World, which was The Evercrew Kingdom. I gave that 4 blossoms. It's by Rin Chupeco, and I really enjoy her writing. I loved the Bone Witch trilogy. It's one of my favorites. This duology is about 2 sisters who find out about each other, and it's about 2 other sisters who broke the earth. So you have their daughters who decide that they're going to fix it. I recommend it if anybody wants something that's fast-paced, little duology. The second book that I forgot to mention was a 5-star read in March, and I don't know why I completely. It is by Manda Scott. It is Boudica, Dreaming the Eagle. It is the first of, I believe, 4 books, and I gave it 5 blossoms. This is fiction, but it also has ancient history thrown in. You have Celtic legend. You have Romans that are involved, Caesar, all that stuff. So it's bound to be filled with betrayal and politics, and I'm really into that. I'm looking forward to reading the second book, which I just started. Now to April. The first book I picked up in April was Forever by J.R. Ward. This is the second book in the Lair of the Wolven, and one character or 2 from the Black Dagger Brotherhood does pop up into this, but this is not about them. It is a secondary sort of storyline that's going on in these, where they're dealing with a part of their past. I'm looking forward to finding out where that goes as this series progresses. And we are following Lydia and Daniel again in this book, and they're dealing with a lot of really hard-hitting things, although trigger warning for terminal illness. This was just, I gave it 4.5 blossoms. I loved how Lydia and Daniel communicated throughout the book, and even on times when they didn't quite know what to say, they found a way to tell each other how much they loved each other no matter what. And are things meant to last forever? We'll see. We'll see. I want to know what's going on with these secret labs. I want to know what's going on with the character from the Black Dagger, and I want to know what's going on with their brother that showed up. What's up with him? He's very interesting. Yeah. On to the next. The next book that I picked up in April was A Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandanna. I gave this 4 blossoms. I really enjoyed this story. I love the children. They're not all, quick to warm up to the protagonist in the story, and one of them reminds me a little bit of Wednesday Addams from the movie. I like the relationship between her and the rest of the characters. There are some amusing moments, and if this author puts out another book, I will probably pick it up. Next, I continued my Discworld adventures by reading Pyramids and Guards. Pyramids I gave 3 blossoms, and Guards I gave 3.5 blossoms. Again, I'm having a really good time reading these books. I'm really glad that I decided to do this read along. The next book I picked up in April was Lassiter by J.R. Ward. I think I mentioned in my last video that I was going to be picking this up. I was going to put something else aside just so I could read it. And I was not disappointed. It was a 4.5 blossom for me. So much more goes on in these books besides sexy time. But when it happens, it happens. Boy, does it happen. But there are other things going on. And I cried about those other things. And I can't say anything because that would be a spoiler. But I've been waiting for Lassiter's story since the end of the Fallen Angel series, because I was waiting for 2 other characters to come, and they did. And I wasn't disappointed. And what the Brotherhood does for Lass. Oh, that made me cry too. Just happy tears. But anyways, I was happy. I was not disappointed, and it's going to be really hard to fill the gap until the next release comes out. I don't know when, but I'm really looking forward to it because we've got a time jump. It happened. It's going to happen. And I'm excited about Passion Flicks doing a TV series. I might actually have to buy that streaming just for that. I think I will, just for Wrath. Because Wrath is the heart of all of these books. The king himself. And I Lassiter, though. Oh, bless him. Oh, I love him so much. My next book in April was The Blood Trials by N.E. Davenport. I gave it 4 blossoms, and this is about a young woman whose grandfather has been murdered or killed, and I'm not spoiling anything with that. That happens in the very first chapter that she finds this out, and then she decides that she's going to try to figure out who it was and who was responsible for that. It's very Hunger Games. It's very, if you go to these trials, not everybody that joins is going to survive. And I was riveted. This is a buddy read that I was doing with Noria and her Patreons, and we were so excited that we decided we're going to read book 2. We're going to read book 2. It's a duology. We're reading book 2. That starts today. I don't know if I'm going to join the discussion or not. We'll see what I have for time. But yeah, it was a definite, it was really fun. It's YA, but I know I said I was trying to get away from YA, but sometimes I just get pulled in. I mean, it was the book that was chosen, so. My next book was to fill the buzzword prompt, which has to do with emotions, and I chose A Sea of Sorrow and Scorn by A.P. Beswick. I gave it a 3.75 blossom. Is it perfect? No. Was it fun? Yes. It was very much that swashbuckler feel, and I enjoyed it. It's a dark fantasy retelling about Blackbeard. There was magic. I'm looking forward to reading some more of this series that he started, the Levanthria series. And yeah, the next book is about St. George. And I don't know too much about the legend of St. George, but I'm looking forward to seeing where he goes with that particular tale. My last book in April was Iron Gold. This is the 4th book in the Red Rising series, but it actually is a time jump ahead. We're seeing where everybody is now that 10 years has passed. The war for the Rising has still been going on, and we've got Darrow and all of his friends still at it, but things have changed. Some of them have children, and we're seeing where they're at, and Darrow makes some choices. We have some new characters, Lysandra, and also Lyria of Lagos, and I am so excited to find out what happens next. I finished this and I immediately wanted to pick up Dark Age, which I'm planning to do very soon. This is much darker than the rest of the Red Rising books, which I knew going in that it was going to be, and I'm okay with that. This is sci-fi, and I really like where Pierce Brown is going with these characters, with the story, and I'm happily surprised to know that he's done another trilogy for this. So this is really fun. I don't know why, but I just like all the violence. It's so violent and backstabby and intricacies of the politics, and I like the interwoven ancient Roman and Greek stuff that's in here, and this is just a good time for me. This was a 5 blossom. Yep, gonna read Iron Gold because Lightbringer comes out in a couple months, and I'm super excited for that. I really, really am. So, yeah, I ended my April on a high note, and I'm not mad about that at all. So that's it. Those were all the books that I read in April, and I'm so happy that I ended on a high note. I'm so happy with that. Yes, yes, yes. Stay hydrated. I'm off to spend some time with my family and show off my newly done hair and all of that. So until next time, bye.